If you ever walked into a room and you felt the heaviness, the sadness, the suddenly shift in energy, even though everyone looked fine, that wasn't your imagination. It was your intuition speaking to you. And here's what most people won't tell you. If you can feel it, you can channel and trust it. Not only for yourself, but also to be able to give someone an accurate psychic medium reading for 60 minutes straight. That's what I help sensitive and intuitive people do. To fully trust their intuition and to create the dream life out of alignment.
And what if I told you that almost everyone here was able within 2 hours to give a psychic mediumship reading? At my recent event, 90% of the people were able to give an accurate psychic reading to another. Some teared up because for the first time they realized that they were not making it up. No scripts, no guessing, just pure intuition. And if they can do it, you can do it too.
My psychic abilities came when I was around 7. I had conversations with my grandparents who passed away. I saw them around my window and I received information I simply couldn't know. Until I found myself different than others, I felt a bit odd. It felt like this part can't be fully here because it's different. So I decided to ignore that part and to become more rational. I became a e-commerce expert. I helped a lot of businesses making millions. I was doing quite good for myself until it felt so unaligned that everything collapsed. I wasn't staring to my calendar, I was drowning in my emotions. So many feelings, so many possibilities, but still I was feeling nothing. It was pure overwhelm. I was laying in bed, sleeping around 15 hours per day, barely leaving my bed. Opportunities passed by, but I couldn't simply see them out of stress. Every task felt like pressure I couldn't hold anymore. 7 months later, I was forced to move back to my parents because I couldn't take care of myself anymore. Just months before, I had a successful career, closing 25-45K deals. Doing exactly what society was expecting from me, become successful in all areas of my life. And then I felt like I lost everything. But in that collapse, at my lowest point when I need to move back to my parents, something clicked. I realized I've been ignoring my intuition and my emotions all those years. I was simply ignoring myself. For the first time, I stopped numbing myself out and I started listening from within. Because my sensitivity wasn't weakness, it's my superpower. From a young age, we were taught to suppress our emotions, not because they were wrong, but because we made other people uncomfortable. Be professional, don't be too sensitive, don't cry, don't trust your gut, trust authority. That's what we learned in school. We were graded on how well we could memorize facts, not how deeply we could feel. We were taught rational thinking only, not to trust our intuition or the sensations we feel in our body. Little by little, you push down the very signals that were designed to guide you. Unless you're a robot, that doesn't work. But you're not broken, you are chosen. Born with a system tuned to frequencies most people can't experience. And when you stop seeing your intuition as noise and start using it as your compass in life, you don't just feel included, you feel guided by something bigger. You feel in creative flow. You might wondering what's the cost of suppressing my emotions. And this is the hidden cost of suppressing your emotions and intuition. When you're disconnected from your emotions, you're disconnected from your higher self. This will give you the feeling of you need to do everything alone. It feels like you're in hustle and grind mode and you overthink every decision. Your emotions are not weakness. They are the language of guidance. They are how your higher self communicates to you. Without them, it feels like you're living life with the volume knob turned down. You don't feel the lows, but you don't feel the highs either. The result of suppressing your intuition and emotions? Your nervous system will slip into a fight and flight survival state with racing thoughts, constantly bracing for impact. Your system is locked in there, disconnected from your emotions. You can't access your intuition, so you can't channel. Because in your body, all the energy is mobilized to survive, to fight or flight, not to connect. That's why so many sensitive people feel numb, disconnected, or sometimes even burn out. They are disconnected from themselves, from others, and their purpose. But here is what happens when you reconnect, when you regulate, feel, and finally trust what's inside. Life gets lighter, decisions get clearer, and relationship will deepen. And results will show up in business, in love, in energy, in peace. When you trust your intuition, you stop chasing and start choosing instead. That's the shift that changes everything. Lisa doubted her abilities. In a single session, she reconnected with another person's higher selves and was blown away. She left saying, "It can change your life. Everyone has this ability." Carolina arrived expecting complicated methods. She left amazed on how simple channeling actually is, calling it a muscle that we can all train, and I agree. Jordi was crippling anxiety attacks for 5 years plus, tried therapy, EMDR, everything. Within weeks of working with me, he learned to regulate his nervous system and his stress plummeted. And his agency jumped 50% in just 2 months in revenue, and his private life blossomed too. Jack used it to numb and push through his emotions, and now he feels them fully, lives through them, and still gets things done. His words, "I'm grateful for your help, brother." Bob was living in constant stress of anxiety, his business consuming his life. By learning how to feel at home in his body again, he became almost stress-free and regained long-term vision in his business. Psychic Night is a 3-month program designed to unlock your sensitivity as a superpower. Here's how it works. First, we're going to help you to trust your channel. You will learn the difference between fear and flow. Practice live channeling until you can deliver a full 60-minute reading. Imagine the relief of finally trusting yourself. No more second guessing or overthinking. No more anxiety loops. Then I help you to stay regulated. Daily tools to calm your nervous system and release emotional blocks. Picture waking up energized, grounded, sleeping better, working clearer, your system steady instead of stuck in fight and flight. Then I will teach you the language of guidance to decode emotions and synchronicities into real-world guidance. Make aligned decisions in business, relationship and life. Choosing the right clients, timing and path that actually works for you. It's like tuning an old radio. Once you find the right frequency, the static drops away and the message comes through crystal clear. And to show you what this is like in real world, let me introduce you a few people that have done this specific work. They didn't just learn how to channel, they learned to live from intuition. And it changed everything. And I know you might still wondering, yeah, but will this actually work for me? That's what Jordi thought too. 5 years of panic attacks, therapy, EMDR, meditation, nothing stuck. When he finally learned how to regulate his nervous system, And trust what he felt, his anxiety almost disappeared. His agency revenue increased in 50% in just 2 months. And 2 weeks later, he told me his girlfriend was pregnant. That's what happens when you're calm, grounded, and connected again. Or maybe you're thinking, I've already done therapy. I tried everything. I did almost all healing modalities out there. That's what Sebran said too. One session with me did more than 1 year of therapy. His words, not mine. And if you're skeptical, thinking this is too woo, that was Steve and Carolina. They walked in, doubting they would channel anything. Within minutes, they were reading strangers with impossible accuracy. They left saying, it's not magic, it feels natural, as if it's already inside of us. Maybe you're worried that you don't have the time. That was Bob. He was running a business, stressed 24/7, convinced slowing down would cost him. Instead, learning to feel again made him almost stressed free, and his long-term vision came roaring back. And if money is your hesitation, remember Jordy and Sarah. They both nearly said no for that reason. Within weeks, their clarity led to better choices and they increased their income massively. Still not sure? You are not intuitive enough? That was Nikki and Adriana. Their first time channeling, they spoke words so precisely they shocked themselves. Over 100 people have gone through this process. More than 90% were channeling accurate within 90 minutes. And here's the best part. If after 30 days you can't channel, you will get your money back. No risks. You will see for yourself that when you trust your intuition, life starts to flow. So here's the next step. Click below in the link and read the short breakdown of the program. Inside, you will get all the details and a simple intuition test that you can use to know if this is your right path. No calls, no pressure, just your own body, giving you a clear yes or no. I only run this 3-month program 4 times per year with 12 spots max. If this is for you, your intuition already knows.